The Clear Audit Trail option removes transactions from the audit trail that meet specific criteria. For example, when you work through the wizard, you'll be prompted to enter a date, and for a transaction to be cleared, it must be dated on or before this date. There's also other criteria, including the following. Each transaction must meet all of the criteria to be cleared, otherwise it will remain on the audit trail. The procedure can be run at any time, although it's most commonly run after running the year end. There are pros and cons to clearing the transactions, the main advantage being that reducing the number of transactions reduces the size of your data files. The smaller the data files, the more efficiently the software will be. So for example, your reports may run more quickly, your backups will be smaller, and checking your data should take less time. However, clearing your audit trail means that you lose the transaction history from your live data. So it's very important that you understand what the Clear Audit Trail will do, and also how far back you need to keep your transactions in your live data. One point to stress is that the process is optional, and also there's no limit to the number of transactions that you can enter in your software, so don't think that it's a process that you must carry out. If you're in any doubt about whether you should clear it or not, don't. If you decided that you're going to clear the audit trail, there's a few things you should do beforehand. Think about what reports you'll need, as once the transactions have been cleared, there's no going back, unless of course you restore a backup. So think about the reports, check your data, and also take backups and maybe even create a company archive. Assuming you want to go ahead though and clear the audit trail, it's a simple process. So from the Accounts desktop we go into Tools, Period End, and then Clear Audit Trail. And this opens the data management window. The criteria for transactions to be cleared is listed on that page, and that's exactly the same as what we discussed earlier. All we need to do though is enter a date that we want to clear the transactions up to and including. So we enter a date. Now in this example I'm just going to choose the end of my previous financial year. Now what you might want to do is retain all of your current year's transactions, your new financial year, plus the previous one. You might want to go back even further, but just for the sake of this example we'll clear up to the end of our previous financial year. So once we've selected the date, you click Clear Audit Trail. Now we will be prompted to back up, and you do have to back up at this stage to enable you to continue. So I'm just going to accept those defaults. One thing to point out is make sure you click onto the advanced options and that data files are selected. You must make sure that's included in your backup. You might want to include other data files as well, such as your layouts, but certainly you must make sure that your data files are selected. Once you've done that, we'll just accept the default, so we'll back up to our desktop, we'll accept the default file name, I'll click OK. We'll just let that run through. It's very quick in my example because it's a small set of data. It tells us it's been successful, we click OK. It then takes us back to the Clear Audit Trail, and in this example it tells us 87 transactions have been removed from the audit trail. Now if we want to, we can leave this little checkbox ticked, and that will show us a report of what has been removed. Alternatively, we can just take the tick out of that, click OK, and that's us finished. Let's leave the tick in, we'll click OK, and it generates the report. We could print that out if we wanted to. It gives us things like the transaction numbers that have been removed. We can print it, we can email it, or we can save it to file. Otherwise, I'm going to click Close. We can then close out of the data management window, and that's the process complete.